Okay.
It's rolling. We're rolling.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Find Your Beach. It's the last Find Your Beach in March. Oh, my gosh. Hey, guys.
Hey,
Do
kids.
you guys want to come down this well with me?
Okay, you're the clown from it.
Come on. Let's hang out in the well.
That's terrifying.
You guys, come down the well. I'm feeling swell in the well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't let them hear your kids. Hide your kids, everybody.
And hide your wives, because I'm also going to get them into
Nope.
a direct sales
Your wives?
program.
No.
Direct sales, I'm going to get them selling stuff.
You're not going to do anything of the sort.
It's a pyramid scheme. Buy this cosmetic, buy it from me, and then sell it to your friends. I've never actually understood how that works, because every single one of those like direct sales, direct marketing or whatever it's called, like
Yeah.
what our neighbor does, whenever they're like, I actually sell for this company, I'm like, I immediately go, if they say anything about me buying their shit, I'm going to run out the door.
And punch them in the neck.
Like, my dad got caught up in that cult last year,
Yeah, we've talked about
the
Gary's.
Landmark Forum.
Yeah.
And I immediately, the second he said it,
Andy's dad loves a direct marketing
he
scheme.
loves to be scammed. He is hot for scams.
Pass me the nicotine lozenges, please.
Anyways, he's just thousands of dollars into Amazon sales, self-empowerment. But then he joined Landmark Forum. But like, I want to say 10 years before that, somebody had tried to get me. They were like, you know what you could really benefit from? These classes that I take. And I immediately was just like, no, that's stupid. That's like my friends that did Cutco in college. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go sell knives.
The Cutco knives were very weird. I remember my babysitter's son got into Cutco.
The funniest thing about it is
sold my mom some knives.
Yeah, they're like, hey, do you mind if this kid who's always had behavior problems comes and shows your mom a bunch of knives? Do you mind if the black sheep from the neighborhood comes by and just pulls out all his murder knives?
Listen, it was really Girl Scout cookies for juvie kids, and I support it. I'm into it.
Have I ever told you about one of my earliest scams?
No.
We used to, when I was like a 12-year-old delinquent stoner kid, we would go to the dollar store and we would buy boxes of chocolate. And then we would go to Seattle Center, which was like a big Central Park kind of area. And we would walk around and tell people that we were selling them for jazz band. And we would sell them for $5 a piece. So we turned $5 into $25.
So you did the whole basketball team thing that kids do in New York.
Yeah. And then
That's
would buy weed with it.
That's really not... First of all, I love that you guys made it jazz band.
It's
I love
so
that
much
you made
more,
it work for your aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, nobody's like, this chubby kid plays basketball.
Right. They were like, oh no, he does seem like he could really rip on a tuba.
Yeah. By the way, I love it when somebody's scamming.
I know you do. We've talked about it many times.
Like there was a little kid.
You are a scammer.
There's a little kid that rides the G train and sometimes the L train. He's probably like 8, and it's always the same thing. He has no salesmanship. He's rude. He'll come and sit down next to you and make fun of you. And his brother, like his handler, is always like in the car with him. But every time he comes up, and sometimes I'll give him like a 5. And he'll be like, cool, and then walk away. No, thank you. No, like that's more money than I expected. Same thing next time. I love him for it.
There's a guy on the G train, or I don't know. I haven't seen him in years, but he was my favorite person.
Is he the negative guy?
The what?
Is he there's a negative guy? I'll go.
No,
into
this is like he's like a white kid who's like in his 20s, seems like homeless maybe, but like he would sit there by the train and he'd be like, and sometimes you'd see him on the train and he'd get on and he'd go, does anybody have $5?
Yeah, that's him. He goes like this. He goes.
Come on,
man. All I need is $5.
That's all
if I
I
get
need.
$5 tonight, I'm gonna be fine. If anybody cares, and it's like
he was the most entitled, like, all I need is $5. Like you're his dad, and you like I would automatically feel like I was his mom and I was disappointing him.
Yeah, like you were like not letting him go to that weekend away with the ecology club.
Yeah, he's like his whole attitude. But I was like, I really saw myself in him because if I was homeless, I'd be like, Does anybody have some money?
Come
It's
on.
like, because you're seeing people with money all around you.
That's how I feel about millionaires.
So I kind of get, yes.
With Bill Gates, I'm like, just give me $30,000.
Just give us $1 million.
Help me pay off my credit cards. It's nothing to you. It's literally what you earn a second.
That is the way that is exactly how this guy would beg for money on the train, Andy.
I'm going to go beg like that at the, whatever it is, the...
Outside of
outside
Jeff
of
Bezos'
the Davos Forum.
Yeah.
Come on. Just give me $30,000.
We should go to CPAC and do that, actually.
Well, CPAC isn't quite the money like that. CPAC's more like the crazies now.
No, but
mean,
I
people
love that
have money
because
like
they
that.
still have the Republican. It makes them face their own Republican thing where it's like, no, you got to work for it, you know?
We were talking about this, about how Republicans will do that thing where they, like if a poor person has any kind of creature comfort, it's like excessive. They're like, well, if they really wanted to get ahead in life, they wouldn't sleep in a house.
Yeah. You think, it's if living's so tough, why do you have a bedroom with windows?
Yeah, what? Okay, I'm sorry. You need money from the government, but you eat 3 meals a day?
I don't think so, buddy.
I don't think Napoleon ate 3 meals. Like, what?
You want a handout from the government? Why don't you talk to me when you're not sleeping on the mattress anymore?
Yeah. Maybe you'll have some sympathy for me when you take a bath with a hose that you snuck up to. Meanwhile, they have like a boat.
Yeah.
It's really, it is weird like that.
As long as you're cooking all your meals inside, you got nothing to complain about.
Yeah, oh, you have it so hard. You don't have to wear all your clothes in the winter.
Oh, so you had to make your Thanksgiving turkey in a microwave? Boo-hoo.
My forefathers had to dig a hole in the ground and light a fire. It's like, well, there wasn't modern technology. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Do you think that we're going to say things about kids like that? Like when we're like 80? Like
Yeah.
We'll be like, when I was a kid, we had to find out the Wi-Fi password.
Yes, I'm already doing that.
Really?
I'm already doing that. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Like, I see shit that people are complaining about now, and I'm like, well, like these teenagers are like, it's so hard to connect to people, and it's like, okay, well, I literally couldn't call any of my friends without talking to their parents first.
Yeah.
So, it's like,
Also, yeah.
they're like, it's so hard to connect with like guys.
There's like that.
Because it's all on the internet. And it's like, well, it was hard to connect with a guy when you knew that his dad was listening in also.
You'd hear that click. You'd be like, oh, fuck, my mom's listening.
Yeah.
Fuck. Mom, get off the... Edie, go to bed.
Mom, get off the phone!
Yeah,
I would
screaming.
so many conversations with guys that I like wanted to fuck at some point or like,
Okay,
wanted to
tone
get
it
fingered
down a
by.
little bit.
And
Wanted to get fucked. 17. come on.
some guy that you're like,
Relax.
oh, I hope he fingers me. Like, all of a sudden, you got to hear his mom on the phone, and you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
I
was thinking about how, like, you can't bully anymore. Mm-hmm. I think people have talked about this, but, like...
You think so?
Well, obviously. But, like, I do think that there are some, like... I don't know if I want to live in a society where, like, nobody's going to make fun of anybody.
Yeah. I hate that nobody's ugly anymore.
Yeah, like, come on.
You can't say anybody's ugly.
Yeah, people can't be weird or ugly
Or fat.
Yeah.
You can't say fat? Really? You can't say, like, no one is?
Yeah. You can't take
No
the
one's
battery
bald.
out of the kid's wheelchair that's electric and push him down a hill. You can't do that?
That sucks. I don't want to live in a world where I can't push a kid down a hill in his wheelchair. No, I think Jesus
I like
Christ.
bailing on a bit
This
so that
pod-
Rosebud just seems like a bigot.
You fucking asshole.
Just let her finish it. Like, I will not talk over you right now, babe.
I will say, I was talking to Andy today. We were walking down the street, and we passed by this woman with no mask on, and she was, like, really pretty. and I passed by her and I didn't notice that she wasn't wearing a mask because she was pretty.
Yeah.
When you see a pretty person without a mask on,
You just go, oh, that's a nice
face
face.
hypnosis makes you forget that there's a pandemic happening. And then by the time that you remember to judge them, you're already like around the corner and down the street.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh shit. You know, but if I see one person who's ugly without a mask on, I'm real quick.
You're like, ugh.
I'm like,
Ugh.
cover that up.
Gross.
Do you not care about anybody around you? And it's like, what am I standing up for? Like, am I really a hero, or did I just notice an ugly person and remember that
We're talking about how we get angrier if an
ugly person isn't wearing a mask?
we're like, hey, put your mask back on. My grandma has to look at your face. My grandma has diabetes.
Think
Don't
of the
make her day
safety of
worse.
others. Your face is your face is all out. It's dangerous.
Somebody might disassociate and run into traffic because of how asymmetrical your face is. Put a mask on.
You
Jesus.
know what I'm realizing is, like, I think that podcasts just become more and more edgy because you run out of decent thoughts to share.
Yeah, can you imagine having a nice person podcast? Like, we're like these like holistic psychologist podcasts where every day you just talk about like improving and how like positive everything is. I eventually would just like, I would just start bleeding out of my nose.
Part of me, I can't really go to therapy because of that. I can't handle that right now.
Yeah.
Like when he talks about like bettering myself and shit, like I just want to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. But when my therapist, especially right now, because I know he is just rolling in dough. Okay. He is making more money than anybody I know right now.
Because everybody's seeing a
Because
therapist.
everyone is seeing a therapist. Because that's what we're doing. We're
Yeah.
bettering ourselves because we have nothing to do but sit around and think about our fucking selves all day long. So when I call him up and I'm talking about whatever, my problems, he's like, I just want to be like, you don't understand. This is a better time for you than it's ever been. Like, it's like talking to Jeff Bezos about my fucking problems.
You know what I would really love is if like those Headspace apps, those apps that like where it's like therapy over an app.
Yeah.
Where if you called your therapist and it was just a call center somewhere, like just in the Philippines, like not a psychologist at all. And they
I
were
bet
just
you
like,
that's what that is.
yeah, hey, so tell me about your week.
We should do that on the next episode. We should actually
Call a therapist?
We should prank call a Headspace therapist.
Okay, it seems if it seems risky, but
No, we could do a couples session.
Oh, we should do that and just record the whole thing.
Dude, I think that's the best idea I've ever had for an episode.
But do you think that they'll like? We can't play their voice, can we?
Yeah, we can.
All right.
Of course we can. It's our podcast. We can prank call a Headspace counselor and describe our problems, and make them up.
All right. I'm down.
I'm 100% down.
We're going to have to give them our credit card info.
That's fine. I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
That's so fun.
Take that, therapist.
That's got to be a Patreon episode, though.
Yeah, it's special. We can't have it in the public.
Yeah, we can't have that out there.
Speaking of Patreon, I just wanted to welcome some people. Is that
Okay.
okay? Can I do that real quick?
I would love that.
Hey, guys, we got some new patrons. Yeah, they're coming to the beach. They're new to the beach. Welcome to the beach. Christy Otto.
Christy Otto.
Aloha. Welcome to the beach.
I love that last name.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then I think this is right, but it's got to be a prank name. Jick Philmoist?
Jick Philmoist is definitely a fake name.
I said it out loud and I was like, oh yeah, that's a. But
Jick Philmoist.
I thought they were Dutch at first. I was like, maybe it's Dutch, and then I said it out loud and I was like, yeah.
What if this is his real name and it's just like he's in his car with a single tear running down his cheek?
Yeah, we're like, that's a prank name, and he just turns into the river.
He's just grabbing his steering wheel, crying. Jick Philmoist.
Welcome to the beach.
What's
Jick.
your name? Jick Philmoist.
Oh, Jick, can you write us and tell us if that's your real name, please?
Please let us know if that's
Please
your real
let
name.
us know if that's your real name.
And if it
so,
is,
we feel
why?
bad.
Tell us why it's your name.
Yeah, because you can fix that. Also, there's more I have to read.
I'm going to read them.
No, I am on top of this because it's actually, I've read the email already. I know what I'm going to say.
Well, I'm going to do something.
You don't know what the email's
Since you've
about.
already planned your material,
It's not planned material. It's a segment we do. You read the reviews.
I'll read the email. We're gonna do something different. Okay.
Sounds like you're just grabbing the podcast by the reins.
I am, and that is not how you say that. All right. Hey, Andy.
How do you say it?
You're grabbing the reins. You're taking the reins.
So you took the reins.
Yeah. And
Okay.
now I'm reading the email. Is everyone ready? Jick, are you listening?
Chick, do you feel moist?
All right, Amanda. This is from Amanda. Hey, Andy and Rosebud. Thought maybe you'd find this interesting. Just found out some Oreos I helped develop almost 2 years ago were released today. This is Amanda McVicker, the food scientist.
Yeah, she was at our shows this weekend. We didn't get to meet her, but she said she enjoyed them. She said that she liked my set more, but that's
She
fine.
never said that.
Okay.
Okay. You can see the difference of the concept that I came up with versus what they actually released. Here are some attached photos. The picture I took was from June 2019, and then those Oreos were released today.
You know what's funny is there's like a scientific kind of applicator for these. What's the flavor that came out?
Donut Oreos.
Yeah, it's pink donut. What's the official flavor?
Oh my God, strawberry frosted donut.
Yeah, strawberry frosted donut Oreo. But the little applicator kind of looks like a tampon applicator.
It does.
And I thought it was a joke at first. Like I thought she was like, "Hey, look at the new Oreos." And it was just like garbage. But then I looked and it's like, no, this is actually what her job is
Yeah.
creating new Oreo flavors.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she showed us a picture of the lab version of the Oreos, and then she showed us the completed package. Congratulations, Amanda.
That's fucking awesome.
You got this is your late night. You just got you
just got your big break.
got your big break.
Congratulations to Amanda McVicker, the mind behind the strawberry frosted donut Oreo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
We should taste test some of them next week.
Yeah, we should. Ooh, that's a good idea.
I love Oreos. I don't think that's a controversial opinion.
I think it's pretty brave of you to admit that.
But you know what's crazy about Oreos now is that they have hundreds of flavors. Like it's
Yeah.
actually hard to have tried all. Have you tried the Lady Gaga ones?
What does that taste like? Meat?
Yeah, they taste like raw hamburger. But a beat plays in your head because there's Vicodin in them.
Yeah, it tastes like a bad outfit.
Yeah, there's ketamine in them.
Nice. I would try those.
But there was like red vine flavored Oreos. There's
What is
carrot
that?
cake. There's
What's red vine?
You don't know what red vines are?
No.
The licorice that you buy at the movie theater?
Disgusting.
Yeah. I thought you'd say that.
That's an chocolate peanut butter pie.
Spring?
Spring.
They taste like a spring?
What is that? Are you
Like
wait,
an Irish brook.
like the spring?
Looks like a regular one that's flavored, that's colored green.
It's just pastel.
It tastes like soap.
You said carrot cake, right?
Yep.
Pistachio thins.
Ooh.
Pistachio thins.
I love pistachio.
Wow.
They have like mega stuffed, the most stuffed, which is
Those are
most-
like whoopie pies.
So there's mega stuffed and then there's the most stuffed, which is the same Oreo. They're just double
mega stuffed, most stuffed.
double stuffed, mega stuffed, most stuffed. That just sounds like the different sizes of tampons that I buy.
That's also my porn search history. When I get on Pornhub, I'm always looking at most stuffed.
You just see a woman with 16 hot dogs in her mouth.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
what they
food
are.
porn.
Food porn.
Yeah.
Did you have any reviews or did nobody review us?
No, nobody reviewed us.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, you fucking jerks.
Get them.
just antagonizing the entire listenership. Thanks a lot, you fucking assholes. I just walk off like Piers Morgan. That was a crazy clip, watching Piers Morgan walk off Good Morning Britain.
Is that what that's called? Good Morning Britain?
Yeah,
What a ripoff.
I know.
He's such a twat.
He's such a fucking loser.
He's like always like, he's always like, he has this like Tucker Carlson, like the decorum of everything. And it's like, you're a fucking sex criminal, I bet.
Yeah.
You probably fucking fly to Cambodia and fillet children.
He's so the guy that like you he comes on to you and he's super fucking nice and you're like, I don't trust you, and so you don't reciprocate, and then the second that he gets it that you don't reciprocate, which is always way too late, he immediately flips to just fucking asshole. Like
Yeah.
just
That's
this
it.
fucking toxic piece of shit. I truly hope he gets throat cancer. I really do. And
That's
he
a
can't
nice
talk.
thing about, or that's like, not a nice thing. I was about to say a nice thing, but that's something that guys don't really have to deal with. Is like women turning on us when we don't reciprocate their feelings.
Really?
I mean, I've had it happen maybe twice in professional settings where like somebody was like kind of hitting on me, and then I was like, hey, this is weird, right? And then they were like,
I feel like that happens.
but for women, I feel like it's professionally and socially.
Yeah.
Like, I've never socially had a girl who like hit on me and then like cut me off socially. I mean, I've definitely like hooked up with somebody and then they were like, hey, I want to be in a relationship. And I'm like, oh, that was not that. And then they're like,
Fuck you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's like a women thing where you have to deal with guys' egos so much more. We don't really have to deal with women's egos the same way.
Yeah. I
In
mean,
relationships, we do.
for sure.
Specifically marriages.
No, I don't-
In
I don't see what
2021,
you're talking about.
I think that's actually a pretty big deal.
I've never brought my ego into this relationship once.
That's true. You're always egoless.
Yeah, I'm
Such a
actually
selfless partner.
just an angel, really. I mean, God, you are lucky to have me. And that's not my ego talking. That's actually from the humblest part of my.
I'm so humble.
I'm the most humble.
People have told me that I'm like the
I'm
most
actually
humble
the,
person they
the
know.
best at being humble
I've heard that.
from me.
But have you had to deal with that? Actually, I mean, has anybody professionally like tried to hit on you and then iced you out? I think you probably just hooked up with them, right?
First
You
of
were
all,
like, they have
first
facial
of all,
hair. All right.
fuck you. Fuck you a lot.
You were like, hey, look, a lot of people aren't knocking on my door, and it
I've
seems like you
definitely-
live by yourself.
I've definitely had people come on to me and then cuz I make it really obvious that I'm not interested right away. I'm like I have no problem being like no.
Kind of like how you did with me at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's never going to happen. And they get it immediately.
Little did you know,
Yeah.
someday I would be texting with your father.
Andy's a creep.
The long con.
You really did. It was the long con for sure. But I've had people come on to me that I immediately was like, no. And I haven't had like a bad experience from that. I think because
You're so matter of fact.
I never beat around the bush. I'm never like, oh, that's really sweet. Like I'm never trying to be like gentle with your feelings about it. I'm like, nope, that's not what this is.
Yeah.
And I think that there is like that makes people feel better in a way. Cause I'm never like judgy about it or like, ew. I'm never.
Yeah, you're at least respectful enough to be like, hey, you're a big kid. You're
Yeah.
a grown up. You
Yeah.
can deal with this.
Right.
I think the worst is the gaslighting that a lot of people do, which is probably like unintentional. But they're like, oh, you're so sweet. But no.
Yeah, no, I'm never like trying
I don't
to
think
like.
you've ever told anybody they're so sweet.
No, I've been like, that's very sweet of you,
But I find you
but
repulsive.
I find you repulsive and your face is gross.
But I like you as a peer.
Yeah, I just think that your hands are too soft for
You
me.
have soft, wet hands.
Yeah. And just in general, I don't like how many accessories you wear.
I would always just lie.
Yeah,
When people hit on me, I would just be like, oh, you know what? Like, I would not want to ruin our friendship. Meanwhile, I totally was willing to ruin our friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. I actually have said multiple times, oh, I don't date or hook up with comics anymore.
Yeah.
Not true.
Well, that's the most obnoxious reaction because every woman knows that that's fucking horseshit. Like that is, I have girlfriends who are like, yeah, he said he doesn't hook up with comics. And I'm like, oh, he's not into you.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've met very few male comics that actually live by that rule.
I've never seen, like, anyone any male comic that does live by that rule, I'm like, I've never seen them with another woman. Like, I'm never like,
That's
well,
what's
who
always-
do you hook up with?
Those people are always like sociopaths to me, or like weirdos, because they're like able to like live this double life where they're like a comic and a working comic, but they don't bring their partners or their dates, or those
Yeah.
comics that just like are like dating like a lawyer, and you're like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm like, how?
How do you do that?
Right. You tried to date normal people. You gave it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was always very obvious. Like,
I think it's easier for men to do that because it's like society is like, I don't know. There's like this agreement that we've made where men are like the funny
Rolling
ones.
Stones.
Nope. No, that's
Just
not.
we're out. We just
Nobody was
pack our
thinking
bag
that.
and we get on our hog and we hit the road.
I don't know what men you're talking
And
about.
we're out late at night because all the boys, we got to have a laugh, just like the Brits.
Is this like some fantasy novel you're writing for yourself late at night?
No.
when
Just
I'm falling
guys.
asleep?
We have like good sense of humor and we just love to have a laugh with the mates.
What?
Come on, you know what I'm talking about.
No, nobody does.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Absolutely
if they're a
no
guy.
one knows what the fuck
The
you're
boys
saying.
love to hang. Mm-hmm. All the guys know exactly what I'm talking about right now.
No.
Girls, you guys like to lay on your stomachs on your bed, FaceTiming with your heels in the air. You love to do that, and you love to be like,
Are you
I
just-
don't know, he was being crazy.
Is this
The
an amalgamation of like scenes you've seen in musicals?
musicals? I've
Yeah, is this
never
like
seen a
I'm
musical.
You're like
I'm a
you're
straight
describing
man.
a scene from Grease and describing another scene from like I don't know, fucking Wild Rider or whatever the Easy Rider.
Yeah, Easy Rider is a very male movie. It's a lot. I can relate to it.
You can't relate to it,
I'm
Andy.
always
You've
on
never
my
been on a
hog. I'm
fucking.
in the South. Me and Dennis Hopper are trying to move some LSD. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I forgot what the fuck we were even talking about.
We're talking about how guys are funny and chicks are buzzkills.
Okay. I want to apologize to every woman that listens to this podcast.
Happy International
And
Women's Day.
I want to let you know that I am putting in the paperwork for the divorce. I'm going to be calling my lawyer tomorrow. No, I think it's easier for you guys to date like a lawyer or a doctor because then they're like, ooh, he's so funny.
Yeah, I mean,
That's like, he's so funny. And then as a woman, you come in and they secretly think that they could do it better than you.
Yes.
Or they love what you do so much that it feels like you're out to dinner with a fan and it's just gross.
Yeah, I think that
They're like, oh, do you know so-and-so?
Well, there's that great Amy joke about like how guys will think a woman, they'll be like, she's so funny. And it's just like because like a hot girl can be ironic. You know what I'm talking about? It's how she closed her first HBO special.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, I think I obviously look for a sense of humor. And it has to be, I mean, it's like bizarre because
When you say that next to me as your wife, it feels like when you say, I obviously look for a sense of humor, it feels like you're sitting next to a troll.
No. What I'm saying is like, I don't.
Obviously, I'm dating Rosebud because she's funny.
No, obviously that's not true. I banged you out immediately. Come on. I sullied your countertop. Come on.
Ew, Andy.
Everybody knows.
Gross. Don't talk about the countertop.
Don't talk about the countertop incident.
Okay, go ahead.
But like, I obviously, like, as a comic, I couldn't even date a comic that was unfunny. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I think guys in general.
Well, I don't
aren't-
know about that. I mean, you've definitely dated some.
Listen, I have not. I've made some poor decisions.
You've never dated a comic that's not funny?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But I think that, like, if I was thinking straight, if I wasn't in active addiction, yeah. Uh-huh. I haven't dated any unfunny comics while I was sober. And had done a little self-work.
Okay.
And also, the really mean person that I dated was really funny. So that was like that's probably why I put up with it. She made fun of my tremor A normal person that makes fun of drummers?
Are you talking about me?
No.
Oh,
That's like, like it was like a high
the
threshold.
Australian, the mean Australian.
Because there were some moments where I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But Australians are also super racist. What did she call?
Let's not go into that.
Yeah, probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Let's maybe not touch on that. We don't need direct quotes from your racist ex.
Well, Australians are just racist as a culture. I feel
Yes,
like it's
they
like
are.
she called somebody that we both know a curry muncher.
Okay.
And I think that that's fucked up and wrong.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But I did screenshot that if in case I ever want to ruin their life.
Smart.
Do we need to cut that?
You didn't say it.
Yeah, I was just repeating somebody. I feel like that's actually almost cancelable now, is to repeat somebody.
Yeah, it's sort of like that question of like when you sing the N-word at karaoke. You know what I mean?
You don't.
Like it's one of those where you're like, ugh,
Have you ever seen that clip
please
of
don't do that.
Kendrick Lamar brings that girl on stage at Coachella and she sings the N-word?
No, I haven't seen that.
And everybody's like, what? Like 50,000 people, but luckily he's like, that's crazy, and like makes fun of her for
Yeah.
it. But like it's like she just belts it out and everybody's like just tens of thousands of people being like, yikes.
The other thing, I mean, it's so funny because if you're in that position and that's happening, you like I would freeze up so bad. I'd be like, oh, I can't even dance at this part. Like I'd be
Yeah.
like, you know?
It is weird that we like racism does bring that reaction out of people that are at least conscious of. I'm not saying we're not racist. We have racism, but if you're conscious of racism, the reaction to racism it's the most awkward. It's like, it's like worse than your parents fighting at a dinner or something.
I love it when you're in a conversation with somebody and they say something that is slightly racist and you feel them getting nervous at people's reactions because you can feel it for the next 5 minutes. It just looms over the conversation.
Yeah.
And everyone sort of freezes up and you can see them start to like backtrack and they just can't stop talking. It's like when you catch somebody in a lie, you know?
Yeah.
When you catch somebody saying something slightly racist and they have to then own up to it, it's the panic that it's like when I would get caught smoking weed by my mom and I'd just tell this long fucking story.
And then she would just let you sit in
She'd
it.
just let me talk and just feel more and more guilty.
That's so great. I do think that is the best. I mean, obviously, I don't know the best reaction. It's for people on the other side of the racism, but I do think that's a really good payback when somebody says something racist and people are just like, okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna let you
Cool.
get out of this one yourself.
Yeah, you can sit in this.
Nobody's gonna throw you a life raft.
You,
Okay?
You jumped in the pool. You didn't know it was this cold, did you? It's cold, isn't it?
It's like when you have
You
a
want a
friend.
towel?
You have a friend who bombs,
Oh, man.
and you're just watching them at the table with other comics and they say something that's just not funny and they know immediately when they say it that it bombed. But so they try to just keep talking. They just keep talking until a laugh happens and nobody gives it to them.
That's the worst. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. It's literally like you're slipping out of an open door of a plane.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, God, fuck. And you're just like, the more you run, the fucking faster your feet.
It's bad. It's bad. It feels like your vibrator dying inside you, actually.
I don't think anybody could relate to that since we have such a large male listenership.
You fucking wish. You wish.
Hey, what's up, Andy? I heard you on Guys We Fucked.
Were you on Guys We Fucked?
No, of course not. I've literally, I've talked to one of them once, maybe.
You haven't talked to Corinne?
I mean, I've talked to her like once or twice. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we started dating
When you were still doing
right
the podcast.
as we were leaving for LA.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, I hate to say it, but we're out of time.
I want to shout out some dates.
We're not out of time, but we got to go.
We're out of time. The portal's closing, and we have to get back to our own futures.
Yeah.
But I do want to shout out some dates. Me and Rosebud, little tour together. We're going to be at Comics at Mohegan Sun, April 1st through 3rd. That's in Connecticut.
The Connecticut's.
And then I will be at the Tahoe Improv the first weekend of May and the San Francisco Punchline the second weekend of May. So I'll see you guys there.
Oh, and I know I said I was going to be at Iowa State. That's now canceled
Yeah.
because I booked something else. And I was like, you
Jury
know what?
duty. She booked jury duty. She has
This
to-
is important, and there's really famous people there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna do that.
And everybody can remember this as the thing where Rosebud met her next husband.
Yeah.
All right, have a blessed weekend.
Wait, wash your hands
Don't lick your lover's eyes.
and don't spit in their mouths unless it's a committed monogamous relationship. And make sure, if you haven't already, to leave a rating and review for the podcast on iTunes. Do it. We love you. Bye.
Bye.